Alright, I just put the kids to bed.
Yes, you did, and that's a good thing, because we need to talk about how ridiculous Gotham is.
So it's been a couple of weeks since we've done a show. Thank you for your patience. We've had a lot of stuff happen.
We've been really busy.
Yeah.
We've had our anniversary, we've had birthdays, we've had parent-teacher conferences, we've had, what else? Dance, basketball, Zumba, all the things.
Yeah, but we're going to try and get back into a little bit more consistent things. So we promised a couple of weeks ago that we would talk about Gotham.
And my friend Kristen wanted us to talk about it. Hi, Kristen!
If you aren't watching Gotham, we're here to talk about how
terrible it is!
And how much you should still watch it.
You should still watch it, though, even though it's terrible. So, I read the blog E07 religiously. Every single week, they do a little follow-up after Gotham, and every single article is, "Last night's Gotham was so dumb I can barely stand it," or "Last night's Gotham went completely off the rails," or...
Pretty much that's about every single episode.
Every single one. And it doesn't seem like it's going to change anytime soon. On Gotham, Alfred is just straight up hitting children.
Which he was.
He was.
And they're right on about everything. But we kind of want to point out a few things that either are bothering us, but also point out some stuff that they're doing that's kind of fun. And I mean, it's so right now it's so crazy that you can almost expect crazy.
You just expect it to be just bananas, and like you almost want to keep tuning in and keep watching it because you want to see how badly they're gonna screw up all of your favorite characters. As far as Batman canon goes, anything that's in the comic books, just kind of take that, crumple it up into a little ball, set it on fire, and just chuck it right out the window.
Yeah, and originally I thought, well, like it was pitched as the idea of like a Batman show before Batman became Batman, when Bruce Wayne was a kid.
And it was going to be some procedural or...
Right, and like a police drama with
Jim Gordon.
And so, and it kind of started off that way, and it kind of presented some of the characters, and it was really fun because it would like name drop, characters like Zaz and other, villains that were going to come about. The Joker, kind of, little bit.
And then they went and changed Poison Ivy's name to Ivy Pepper instead of Pamela Isley, which made no sense. But as I said before, all of that stuff that you know about Batman and that you love about Batman, it kind of is still the same feeling, though. It's like some weird cross between the old campy, ridiculous 60s Batman, and then you've got a little bit of the neon, brightly colored Batman and Robin, Batman Forever.
Mixed with a teeny bit of Christopher Nolan.
Just a dash.
Just a dash.
A hint of it.
And like for the first season, I had a really hard time with it because I thought it had an identity crisis. Like I couldn't figure out, like from episode to episode, it felt really campy and like corny, and then all of a sudden Fish Mooney's gouging her eye out. Like, whoa.
With a spoon and then stepping on it with her bare foot.
Or like same thing. Edward Nygma was like goofy and stuff, and then he gets the girl, and then he kills her. Like, what?
That was probably a spoiler, but like, it is. The storytelling is uneven, and the acting is really uneven too.
Let me just say, when it comes to Jada Pinkett Smith and her character Fish Mooney, it had a really like. For me, it seems like all the villains in the Batman comics, like all of them have that one characteristic that makes them weird, quirky. You have Penguin that has kind of the limp, and in the Cobblepot in the show has shows how he kind of started to get into those type of things. And you have Mr. Freeze and all those type of things. Fish Mooney was just kind of like mean, and then she gouges her eye out. And I thought, okay, now she's going to have that quirky, weird colored eye, and she's going to be like a perfect Batman villain, and she dies. Like the end of season 1.
And she didn't really do anything after that. Like, it was just kind of like, here's her story arc, and it's getting really interesting, and she punches out her eye, and then,
let's kill her off.
Then her arc just kind of went away.
And I feel like, to a certain degree, like Gotham is trying to turn into the comic book TV show version of Game of Thrones, and that every single
no one is safe.
Yeah, don't get too detached to anybody because they're gonna die. And I mean,
yeah,
even like,
but they haven't killed off any villains that are
yes
that are in later Firefly. Firebug.
No, I'm talking Joker.
If he's really the Joker,
and
it never came out and said that he was actually the Joker.
Right. I know what you mean, but like, that was one of those too. Like when we talked about casting, if that's one thing that Gotham's done a great job of is casting certain characters, the Joker type character.
He was incredible. Robin Lord Taylor that plays Penguin is like spot on. The little girl that plays Selena Kyle, again, is wonderful. And Carol Kane as Penguin's mother. I mean, I love her in anything. Like, if you're not watching Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, she's just as fantastic in that.
Well, I don't mind his partner.
Donald Logue that plays
Harvey Bullock.
Harvey.
Yeah, he does a really good job.
And I even really like the guy that plays Alfred, who, by the way, is the son of the third Doctor.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Well, now on the same token, there's a few things that are kind of need a little bit of work. I have a few issues with, especially the last 2 episodes. A few issues that
there's been some issues
struggling with. One, we talked about the women in fridges thing. To a certain degree, especially the violence on women. What happened with Edward Nygma and
Kristen Kringle.
Yeah.
In order, they made it so that in order for him to become the villain that he's gonna be, and this is kind of interesting because you traditionally hear of the whole women in fridges as the hero. Their love interest is killed or maimed, or violence is acted upon them or otherwise, in order to motivate them to go and be heroic or do something. This was kind of a different side of it, where she was used in a way to make him become the villain.
Right.
So I guess in that it's kind of inverting the trope, but still.
Yeah. Unnecessary.
It's unnecessary, and it's frustrating. The exact same episode, Penguin's mother.
Yeah, same thing, kind of, and that's I guess a women in fridges one too, because they used her to put her in a cell so that that the Penguin would do
whatever Gallivan wanted him to.
Right, and so that becomes, I mean, not that like the Penguin is the hero, but I mean in a certain way in this storyline he's kind of the anti-hero.
Yeah.
So
I would agree.
He's
so you've got that, and then you've got Barbara, who's just, she was terrible. In the beginning, she was terrible. Like, we talked about the acting being uneven. Gordon and Barbara are, like, by far the worst.
I'm not gonna shout. I think Gordon looks like one of my friends from high school.
He looks like Damon.
He looks like Damon Rasmussen. I'm gonna tag you in the video, Damon, but he looks like you. But anyway, but you
Damon could probably do
a better job,
as good, if not better, job acting. In this.
Yeah.
But so you've got Barbara and Gordon, and I feel like they got wind of the fact that nobody liked what they were doing with her character and how awful she was. So they're like, great, let's just
make her evil,
make her crazy, and make her evil. And it seemed like all the things that she was doing, like, well, I know this will make her seem really crazy and weird. It's like having her with her sexuality be a lesbian.
Yeah. Okay, my thing is, we're all right now, especially with comic books and with comic book shows, where everybody's up in arms about representation.
Right,
and
representation and equality, and representing people in their different
types of cultures, different types of races, different types of people being represented the way they're represented in current culture.
Right.
And the problem that Gotham is dealing with right now is that because everybody other than, there's really very few people other than Gordon that aren't villains that are main characters in the story. So I see where the problem.
Bruce Wayne and Alfred, but
yeah, but I see where what their issue is. But if you're gonna try to present a character that is part of the LGBTQ, and be able to have somebody for that group of people to identify with, don't make it the crazy person. Yeah. So then it almost makes it like she has to be like that is a reason why she's crazy, or
Right.
I guess a symptom of craziness is that you are a lesbian. That's not.
Well, and they had Montoya in the first season,
right?
Who in the comic books, is a great representation of that. And she just kind of was there for Barbara to be with, and then just kind of went away.
And but now, but even her, she was kind of like borderline crooked cop, kind of. I mean,
Montoya was crooked cop.
A little bit. I mean, you didn't know
she
was
in the
kind
comic
of
books too.
No, but I mean,
we would need to talk to Uncle Joe about this. Uncle Joe, we need to talk to you about this. You know about this than we do.
But now they did it with like Tigress, but then they used kind of like there they are, they're kind of they're like, both kind of kooky lesbians. Almost sets things back a little bit.
It kind of does.
I don't know, that kind of bothered me. The other thing that kind of bothering me a teeny bit, and I know it doesn't bother you as much. And I teach high school, but it bothers the little love thing between Bruce Wayne and what's this?
Snow something?
Yeah, like they always put in a girl to try to like seduce a 12-year-old boy.
Not that that's unlikely. I remember being 12 years old and having crushes on boys and things like that. I don't necessarily think it's unlikely, but I get where
I guess like I don't know. I don't want to necessarily promote that. I mean, if you're talking about like a teenage show that teenage kids watch, back when.
Do you think that teenagers don't watch Gotham?
No, I do, but I don't think you're talking about a TV show where people are gouging their eyes out and shooting people and throwing people off of buildings. I mean, Joker freaking threw 6 people off of a building. That's not like geared towards 12 and 13-year-old kids. It's not, especially the time slot. The time slot comes in at 8 o'clock. Those kids are kind of close to getting into bedtime. I mean, it's not geared towards them. I don't think. The language that they use, it's not geared towards them. It's geared towards people like you and I that are like.
If you're watching this and if you watch Gotham and you're of the teen high school demographic, let us know. Because
I teach high school and not very many of the kids they don't watch Gotham. No, I
yeah, but where do you live?
Okay, fair point, but even where we lived before, I didn't have kids that were watching Gotham.
And where did we live before?
Okay, fair point. But like, I still don't think that. I think that most of the people that watch are like our demographic, like people that grew up but are still kind of into the nerd comic book culture. And so when they present Bruce Wayne as a 12-year-old kid who's falling in love with 2 girls and even kissed her. Like, and that was just kind of like.
How old were you when you had your first kiss?
Oh, I was 13, I think. 13. Yeah, but.
You have no room to talk. So I don't know if we're doing a very good job here selling the show and why you should be watching it.
Well, for me, it's gotten to a point though with the show that like it's so crazy that it's almost kind of crazy fun.
It's fun.
It's one of those that's fun to.
It's fun to see. It's like watching that scene in Super 8 when the train is going off the rails and everything is crashing and exploding. It's a horrible disaster for these children to watch, but as you're watching it in the movie theater, it's very entertaining seeing like cars flying, like train cars. What I'm saying is it's a train wreck and it's fun to watch.
Basically, we're like saying it's like the comic book version of Flavor of Love. It's like,
do you remember that show?
I do.
We used to watch Flavor of Love.
Flavor Flav.
And it was...
Anyway.
What was that?
Yeah.
Anyway, guilty pleasure.
I mean, those things.
So it's a comic book guilty pleasure, is what Gotham is basically. And I know, as I said before, like, don't come into it expecting it to be like this is exactly what led up to all of these people becoming the villains or whatever, because it's
got to be some sort of separate.
It's a loose universe. Interpretation.
Yeah.
In the multiverse, it's definitely way out there.
Well, like early in the show, I was thinking. Well, I know there's different like channels and stations and stuff and different production companies, but I was thinking, well, what if Arrow could like sneak in? Or what if Superman could come over? They can't. No. There's no crossover possibility. It's just kind of.
But eventually he's got to become commissioner.
Right.
And I still don't know how they're going to get him and Barbara back together to be able to have Barbara Jr., but whatever.
She's gonna take some uncrazy pill and then not be a lesbian again.
Whatever. So, let us know in the comments what your favorite insane moment in Gotham has been thus far.
Mine is the eye
Yours is
gouging.
the eye.
That was the one when we're watching it on the bed and like she pops her eyes. I'm like, I jumped up and what?
Mine is
what?
Mine is probably Lil Joker with the gasoline and the cheerleaders in the school bus.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
So let us know. Shall we end things up with a quick cold bacon?
Let's do it. So we're gonna do tonight in great Gotham crazy fashion.
We're gonna do Batman to Batman. Just
Batman,
like we did.
Batman action.
Didn't we do Wonder Woman to Wonder Woman last time?
By the way, there's an interesting I don't know fan theories, but like there's an interesting one about the possibility of Batfleck being actually Robin, but like that he's existing in the same universe as Christian Bale, but he's not Batman. But yeah, I'll put a link in the doobly-doo too. It's really kind of interesting. It'll kind of. I'm not a fan theory guy, but like I did read that one. I thought it was really interesting. So. But anyway, we're gonna do Batfleck 2, Ben Affleck 2,
Adam West.
Adam West.
Adam West.
I'm TV's Adam West.
I'm TV's Adam West.
So.
Well, the only thing that I can think of that he's been in other than Batman that I know of for sure is The Family Guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a lot of episodes of The Family Guy. He does voiceovers and other stuff too, but I can't think of what.
I think he is. Okay, you have to check me on this one because if it's right, then I have it done.
Okay.
Okay, if it's right.
Okay.
Okay, so you have Adam West was in Family Guy with Seth MacFarlane, who was in A Million Ways to Die in the West with Neil Patrick Harris, who was in Gone Girl with Ben Affleck. I think. I haven't seen A Million Ways to Die in the West, but I think I remember that he was in that movie. Check me on that.
I'm going to pull out my IMDb. By the way, if you're playing along at home, IMDb should only be used afterwards. You can't.
It's kind of like
Clue.
Cheat. When you play Clue and you're like, I think that's it, and then you pull out the thing to check to see if they. Yes! Yes! Got it. Okay, so again, in the comments below or on our Facebook page, tell us what you think about Gotham, or maybe what the craziest moment in Gotham, or another show if you have one that we should be watching that we aren't.
Mm-hmm. We'd love to hear from you, so leave some messages in the comments or on our Two Nerds on a Wire Facebook page. Click like if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to watch more of our really awesome videos.